Okay, one, two. There I am. There I am. Can you hear me now? Everybody say one, one, one. If you could hear me now, everybody press one. If you can hear me now, press one, 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 one. Can you hear me now? Press one. Can you hear me now? Press one. Can you hear me now? Let- If you can hear me now, press one, family. If you can hear me now, somebody might need to call them up. No, no, no. I'm talking. Let me see here. Can you hear me now? Everybody say one. All right, good, 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 good. Love now. So let's start this song over. Let's start this song over because y'all didn't hear that song. Let me get ready. All right, so everybody can hear me. Good, good, good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, great, great. Great, 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 great. Let's start the song over. We only have one life to live. This is me back in the 90s. All right. All right, all right, all right. I see the ones. I see the ones. I see the ones. Yes. We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, because you won't make it. Yes, with that body though, with that body though. Yes. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight. The best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, because you won't make it. We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, because you won't make it. The people that know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to confess that we all should strive to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, because you won't make it. Oh, bongo music, the bongo music. Lot of mercy, lot of mercy, lot of mercy, lot of mercy. We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for being patient with me. Of course, we had a little technical difficulty, but it's all right. It's all righty. Of course, once again, let me say honor to all of you, honor to all of your ancestors, honor to all of your ancient ancestors, your modern ancestors, and honor to the creative force within inside of you that is stronger than anything outside of you. So acknowledge that and stay on the vibe. You know, when I was on radio back in the day and doing major commercials for like Guinness and Western Union and all that, I used to say, look, I am the universal soldier, the live wire, the one who runs on solar and lunar energy only. Why don't you purchase a bottle of that light and get the vibes? That's what I used to say on radio. Yo, this energy is forevermore, regardless of what you say, regardless of what you do, it's forevermore for all of you. So I have to bring my African brothers and sisters to front line. Yes, so today, okay, in the next 15 minutes, we got Baba Phil Valentine and his beautiful empress, the one, the only Dr. Nalani Valentine coming in the building. Now, we're going to be very respectful of our Babas and are very respectful of our elders, that we know disrespecting them. There's going to be no calling them out of their names. They're going to be called no. There's going to be no dishonoring them in any way, because they're coming with another vibe. They're coming with a healthy state of mind in these times. Yes, we're going to be discussing a healthy state of mind in these times, not only for your elders, but for also you and for your children. But you know, Baba Phil Valentine, metaphysics master that he is, got to go into what's going on just to set the premise. But he's going to also go into the list. Him and his wife is going to go into the list of things that you can do while you're at home, while you're under quarantine, or whatever you're going through, while you're in meditation, while you're in prayer. We're going to go through all of that. And it's going to be a very intimate conversation, because I've known Phil for a long time. I've known Dr. Phil for a long time, and I've known him since 1990s, 1994. And even before that, I knew him when he was with Queen Afua and all of that. So I know when they was doing what they was doing and working together. And big up Queen Afua, because you know, anytime you get a chance, make sure you get Queen Afua's books, all her books. Make sure you get this Circle of Wellness. This is one of her latest books. Also, make sure you get Planet Heal. Planet Heal is also a book of a compilation of a lot of great people in this book, Dr. Africa included, myself included, and many other healers in here. Of course, don't forget, make sure you get her son's book. Her son's book is called The Remedy. Make sure by Supernova Slum. Make sure you get those books. All right, so make sure you support all the queens, because Queen got Sacred Woman. She got the book called Sacred Woman. She got the books called Heal Thyself, Man Heal Thyself. All of that is in the arsenal of Queen. So please like this video, send this video out. Please share this video to your friends. I don't care how you do it, because it's going to be off the hook when 9 o'clock comes in live and direct. 9 o'clock Eastern time, Central time. I think Central time is also 8 p.m. and then it's in California it's 6 p.m. and across seas I think it's 5 or 8 hours or whatever. I know in Singapore it's another 8:43 in the morning in Singapore. So big up to all the people in Singapore, big up to all the people in England, big up to all the people in Africa. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's go island hopping. Let's go continent dropping, and let's go state to state. Mention your state right now. Let me shout them out. Come on, let me see what state you're calling from, which island you're from, which place you're from, and let me shout you out right now. I'll shout out your state, your country, your town, wherever you are, whatever live feed right now, I'll shout it out. So please share this. Cali is in the mother flipping building. Big up to Cali. I want to go back to Cali. Big up to Cali. Who's next? Cali. I see Cali is here. Okay, who else is next? Georgia, GA in the building. Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix is in the building. What's up, Phoenix? I haven't been there. Well, I love Phoenix, man. I was out there enjoying myself. VA, what's up? Virginia, Louisiana, what's up? Florida, what's up? I love Florida. Michigan, we all say Michigan. Arizona in the building is again. Oh, Arizona's in the building, man. You know the building. Come on now. You know I'm in Brooklyn, because Brooklyn always in the house. Big up to Orlando, Florida, where my cousins are at. My Cuban cousins are in Orlando, Florida right now. So big up to Orlando, Florida. What's up? Come on, I'm shouting y'all out. Jacksonville, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee in the building. What's up? Yo, make sure y'all share this, like this video, share this, share this, share this, share this. Let's build the algorithms up. Come on, let's share. Because Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani is coming in at 9 o'clock. It is now at at least 10 minutes before. Houston, Texas is in the building. What's up, Texas? What's up? What's up? What's up? I was in Houston, Texas recently, man. I love Houston, Texas. It was cold until I got to my birthday around February 1st. Bang, it was nice. Then we was hanging out with Professor Smalls over there at the Black Madonna, the Shrine of the Black Madonna, Hartford, Connecticut, in the building. Yo, I haven't been to Hartford in years, man. I used to do reggae shows out there, and we used to bring comedy shows out there with Oliver Samuels, Beanie Man, the Boogie Down Bronx. I used to live in the Bronx. I used to live right off of Jerome and Towson. So I know Bronx. I know the Boogie Down, right? I used to live next to Lebanon Hospital, not too far from Lebanon. PA, what's up, PA? What's up? Welcome to King Simon Presents, y'all. What's up with y'all? DC, Washington, DC in the building. I love the Ethiopian restaurants out there in DC. I love the Ethiopian restaurants in DC. I'll be in Morristown, PA with my family. My family lives in Morristown, PA. So big up to PA also. Washington, DC. Yeah, that's where all the crew is at. Buffalo, New York, where Rick James is from, Frankie Crocker is from, and where the one, the only Gary Imhotep Bird is from. So, hey, Buffalo, big up to y'all. Matter of fact, Young Pharaoh's from out there, I think. Young Pharaoh's from out there. Big up to Young Pharaoh all the time. Big up to my man, what's his name? What's my man name? Baba TV. Big up to Baba TV. That's right. Brother Phil is coming out. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Phil L. What's up? Desert of California. What's up, Cali? I'm coming back to Cali, but after the quarantine. I ain't coming out there while it's a quarantine. big up to Texas. Big up to Texas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir. That's right. So big up to all the family out there, man. What's going on with y'all out there? Yeah, man. I might do a call in tonight. I might make y'all call in and talk to Baba Phil. I'm gonna see if I can arrange that. I'm gonna check my phone lines and make sure it's tight. But of course, you know, if you want to do a numerovation session with me, make sure you text me your full name and date of birth. That's 347-496-1022. That's right, 347-496-1022 is my number, and it's all in the all the contacts of Dr. Phil and Dr. Nalani is also it's going to be in the description bar, but it's also inside of the chat right now. If you want to contact Baba Phil and Dr. Nalani, you can contact them. Also, the Cash App for Phil Valentine is $Sanu, $Sanu, SUNNU7. That's the Cash App for Dr. Phil Valentine. So make sure you show Baba Phil Valentine some love, because he's going to come in and show you some healthy state of mind love tonight. It's all about the healthy state of mind. Whatever he did a lot of stuff on Brother Rich's channel. So make sure you check out Brother Rich's channel when he broke down the whole Corona thing and all the elements behind it, all the people behind all that kind of stuff. Phil went in recently on Brother Rich's show. And then check out Brother Panic's latest one. It's like 9 hours though. I'm still going through it. I think I'm up to 3 hours. But Panic and Dr. Aleem was on Occult Lectures, and they were breaking it down too. So big up to Dr. Aleem and big up to Brother Panic. They was breaking it down. And, yo, Panic boy, he go in for 5 and 9 hours, yo. Yo. Oh man. Oh, thank you very much for the Dr. Africa. Yeah, man. I spoke to his wife yesterday. Dr. Africa thanks all of you out there. Dr. Africa's wife thanks all of you out there for showing your love, whether it's through Cash App, through PayPal, whether you supporting the books. I do advise everyone to buy the books off of their website, because a lot of the books that's on Amazon is a lot of old books, and a lot of y'all didn't know that the old African Holistic Health book, the last one before the textbook came out, a lot of y'all didn't know he wasn't making money off of that. Actually, it was they held the publisher of that time held it up, but his wife had to create him and his wife created a whole publishing company where all of his books were published under his company. And now that's why you got to go straight to his website, straight to Dr. Africa's website, LailaAfrica.com, and show that love for Dr. Africa. So please, I want to thank everybody that came on to that live tribute to him. I want to thank also Brother Rich and Brother Professor Griff, who did their tribute. I want to thank KT and Minister Inky, who did their tribute. And remember, you don't have to start no GoFundMe anywhere. the wife, Dr. Melanie, said exactly how to donate. Go to the bottom of that YouTube channel, that YouTube page. The description bar tells you exactly what you get. If you want to pay for the classes, if you want to do the online classes. And what's so interesting, Dr. Africa taped all of his online classes. He taped all of them. So, I mean, I have a friend that paid for Dr. Africa's class after he transitioned, now right before he transitioned, but they paid for his class. And when they went to the intro of his class, he was so deep in the intro because Dr. Africa don't hold back when he's teaching the class. So he was so deep in the pre-taped intro, she had to stop and wait because she has to get a paper and pen to write what he was, so because he started breaking stuff down. But that's how Dr. Africa, Massachusetts, big up to you. Dr. Africa says what he mean what he said. He was a number 9 and he went out like a G, like his wife told me. His wife kept on saying he went out like a G. King. He had everything already set up, ready to go, and everything was all in line for her, and everything is left in her name to distribute to the children, all that good stuff. I'm telling you, Doc went out his own way. He went out in his way. That's how he did it. So I'm loving what's going on. I've been having dreams about him. Other people have been having, friends of mine have been having dreams about. Yes, if Doc is coming in your dreams in any way about his books and anything, it's just telling you that you got to work. You got to put in that work, because that's what he told me in my dreams and my lay down. He said, put in that work, King. It's time to, and I wrote 2 more children's books thus far. I'm finishing up my Numerovation for mental stability, because also Doc, I know Doc has a book that his wife is going to put out about mental health. That's going to come out, but give that at least a year. But I'm telling you, you want to get all the information that we are dropping now. And remember, Dr. Africa is the publisher of my books. Just remember that. Dr. Africa is the publishers of my books. So anytime you support my books, you support Dr. Africa. So numbers are simple, people are complicated, basic, ready for you to learn. And then I got references and recommended reading in the back. And also, don't forget, my promotional motivational book is also on Dr. Africa's publishing company. No promotion is bad promotion. All publicity is good publicity, and just spell my name right. That's all I ask. Just spell my name right. When you're going to talk about me, spell my name right. Don't put an E in back of Simon. It's Simon, 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 not Simone. All right, so just spell my name right. That's all I ask. And of course, my children's book is called Numbers Are Simple. Our children's health is important. That's Numbers Are Simple. Our children's health is important. Yo, let me tell you something. Right now, I'm looking for illustrators. I'm weaving through some illustrators for my children's book because it's already finished. 2 of them are already written. I got a few more to write, a few more of my children's books to write based off of that first song you heard, One Life to Live, and my black and white story. And I think I'm going to do Respect and Protect the Black Woman. I think that's going to be a powerful one when I put that out, because it's a children's book. And I'm trying to make sure that we understand the importance of respecting our sisters, respecting our daughters, and then daughters and sisters respecting our brothers, as well as the men in our family. So that's going to be very important. So we're going to do what we have to do. Don't forget, if you want to buy Baba Phil Valentine's book, make sure you get it. The Wounded Womb. It's the book you need to get. The Wounded Wound, about 700 pages of nothing but information. The Wounded Womb by Phil Valentine. You can go to his website, uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. And his wife book, I don't have the wife book with me right now. I went to order it, and so it should be coming next week or so, depending on how the mail system is going. But Dr. Nalani Valentine's book is 7 Steps to Healing and Wellness, using essential oils with the Kabbalion as a guide. That's interesting. That's why when I seen that, I should have looked at it a long time ago, because she had this book out for a while. But she said using essential oils with the Kabbalion. That means she's using the Kabbalion mathematics and number system as a guide for healing and wellness. 7 steps, and 7 steps is that God number. So once you understand that 7 steps, that's her book online right now at uksnow.org. Make sure you go to that website, uksnow.org. And also they got classes, they got courses, they got registration, they got webinars, they got homeschooling for children, just in case you don't want to return your children back to home school. If you don't want to turn your children back to those schools because of whatever that's going on inside there, you might want to do the homeschooling with Phil Valentine's wife and Phil Valentine. Let them drop that wisdom. They got, of course, tuition. You got gifts, give a gift, testimonials. They got a store. So make sure you give them a call at 800-847-1291. That's 800-847-1291. Right now, we're expecting Baba Phil and Dr. Nalani to come on up and say, hey, what's up? And I'm just waiting for them to come up on Zoom. I did send them the link. And because they're celebrating their granddaughter's birthday today, they might be a little late, so please respect that. They're celebrating their grand, because everybody got to celebrate over Zoom and over StreamYard and all kind of thing. You have to celebrate. Look, let me tell y'all something. My son, one of my sons is supposed to graduate from university this year. And guess what? They're going to have a virtual graduation where I could watch over the computer. This is getting cray. I'm telling you, this is getting cray. I can't even go to the graduation in Southern Georgia because, oh, woo, guess who's coming up? Yeah, my brother's coming in.
How you doing?
How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Very well, thank you. My wife shall be joining very shortly.
No problem, brother. I was bigging up your books. I was bigging up her books. I was bigging up everything while y'all was coming in.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, I was bigging up your wife's book, and I was bigging up your course online. I was bigging up your wife's book because I just ordered the book, so it's coming in the mail.
Okay, beautiful.
I didn't realize she did 7 steps of healing and wellness using essential oils and the Kabbalion. So you know that's my thing.
I know. And she used every step, every one of the 7 steps of the Kabbalion has a particular set of oils. Yes. She uses to actually encompass that particular thing.
Good.
She'll be joining us very soon.
And
how's everybody?
Everything is fine. People, we got like 97 people already. They're coming in the room, and that's good. And I was telling people about your homeschooling and everything that y'all got going on, just in case people don't want to return their children back to these crazy schools after what's going on. Y'all got homeschooling.
Indeed. And we've been doing this. Our homeschooling was for adults, and we were the first to actually put together an online school. The university, we were the first university back in 2005. What essentially at that time was very expensive technology that dealt with just the CEOs of big corporations being with each other across the country and the world. And we just decided to put it together as a university, and we reached out to the world in 2006. And now you notice that a lot of the universities are doing online schools.
Right.
So, we were the pioneers in that, and we're very proud about that. And our ISM now, we're thinking of the families that don't want to go back to school.
That's right.
With their children. So with this vaccination thing, I just want to, before we get started, Brother King Simon.
Go ahead, brother.
We got a chance. I wanted just to update everybody because a lot of people were very, I guess they were very afraid of the things that I said. And we want this to be kind of a wholesome thing. We want this to be a family kind of thing, but we want to first get the thing out of the way, the danger out of the way, all the stuff that's getting ready to come down. I'd like to make sure that everybody is up on it.
Yes, please.
So I'm going to wait till my wife comes aboard, and when she's aboard, then we can hook in.
All right, like Baba said, you know what it is. Now, remember, if you want to contact Dr. Phil and Dr. Nalani, their services and for their products, you can go to www.uksnow.org. It's in the chat right now, uksnow.org, or call them at 1-800-847-1291. That's 1-800-847-1291. Sanu's Cash App is, of course, Cash App, $SUNNU7. That's the Cash App. Woo! Is that Mama Nalani? What's that?
Finally. I went to the wrong place.
How'd you do that?
We had a family reunion going on, and that was the last link I saw. So I clicked on that link again, and it put me right back. And they're still partying.
They're still partying. They're still partying.
I was just telling people that. I was telling people that y'all had to go for the granddaughter and everything, and that's that. Hey, look, it's getting weird. I just told the audience that my son is graduating, and they doing a virtual graduation out of the university.
Wow.
I gotta
Wow.
deal with that.
Ooh, let me turn my phone off too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the phone off. So yes, brother.
Yeah, so it's that's what's going on.
I'll just go up to Brother King Simon. If people want to know how to tune in, what they go up to YouTube and just
Go to
put in
YouTube and search for King Simon Presents.
That's it.
King
The
Simon.
only reason they don't see it is because he's not live right now.
Oh yeah, I'm I'm live. I'm live.
You're live on, we're live?
Yeah, we're live. Yeah, we live.
Oh,
Yeah, we on
okay.
it. We've been on
'Cause
it.
I only
Been on
see-
it since
I only
8:30.
see 3 of us here.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we need.
All we're gonna do, boo.
That's all we do.
Oh,
Ain't nobody else.
Just
oh,
us.
awesome.
Now,
Just us.
first of all, I want to say, first of all, I am honored. This is the first time I had Dr. Nalani on my platform. I'm honored because this is Melanated Women's Month forever. Because
I
it's not
am
just a month.
honored.
I'm honored to have you up here, Baba. I've known Baba forever, so you know. But when it comes to the Empress comes in, we gotta bow and show our respect because you've been put. I just shouted out your book. I didn't know you connected the essential oils with the Kabbalion. I was like, oh, I just ordered the book actually, and I'm gonna wait for it to come in the mail. I know how the mail is going crazy right now, so we gotta handle mail with gloves out here. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Ain't that something? You gotta handle mail with gloves. You gotta handle everything with gloves.
everybody.
That's why we put the what do you call it up to them, and we put this around our computer.
I have mine too.
It's like a standing wave. Sends up a standing wave to keep back all this 5G nonsense.
I got mine too, Baba. I ain't playing with you.
You ain't playing, baby. Don't play. Hey, listen, I did a double threat. I got double threats going.
Oh,
I got them both.
see,
I
got a few. I got like 7 computers, so I got one on each one. So
one on each one. And don't forget your shungite.
Shungite.
Yes, I do have my shungite. Yes, I do have my shungite.
Good,
yes,
good. And the
shungite.
next thing you all got to do is get one of these. Make sure you got your
Diode.
diode with you.
Oh, that's on my phone. That's on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the. And wait, are you selling diodes on your site, brother?
No. We're just I'm just referring people to the site where it is, and that's safespaceprotection.com.
Wait a minute. Say it again. Safe space.
Yeah, safespaceprotection.com.
.com. Okay.
King Simon Presents or
Yes,
King
ma'am.
Simon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
King Simon Presents.
You know, and what's so interesting, Dr. Blair's site still sells it.
Good.
No
You
respect
go down to
to
Dr. Blair. Put his site up as well.
I'll put his site up there too. His site is the metacenter2.com, the metacenter2.com. So Dr. Blair's family is still selling it. I'm gonna put this site, safespaceprotection.com. That's protection without an S at the end, right? Just protection?
Yeah, just protection.
Okay, safe space protection .com and meta, yes, mom, meta center 2.com. So these 2 places you can get your diodes right now, safespaceprotections.com and the metacenter2.com in Chicago. Still supporting Dr. Delbert Blair's legacy, one of the founding members of what they was doing all these years that I grew up with back in the 30 years old. Man, I was 30 years ago, man. My goodness, Baba. Where does the time flies, man? We still looking young.
Yeah, well, we just working it, man. We working what we teaching.
You know, first
Mama helping me. I just got lazy and put on all this weight. Everybody's all saying, well, what's wrong with Dr. Valentine? I'm happy. That's what it is. And I got to stop being this happy and get to work.
You know,
get my face to look like my body. You know.
He's working on it.
Before we go in, I just want to ask Dr. Nalani something. How did you meet this great grandmaster here? How did you meet this brother? And we're getting into the audience. I want the audience to feel, because they're real people here.
I am sure you've heard this story. I'm sure many of the audience had. However, house and never, as we used to say.
Yes, ma'am.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1996.
Yes.
by more than one doctor that my only option was surgery. Thankfully, I did not have it. I was introduced to Dr. Valentine. And I'll tell you, when my first consultation,
Mm-hmm.
what helped me, because it sounds like I was brave, but I was just afraid. I was just as fearful as anybody else would be.
Wow.
However, he was so sure. He was so convinced that, oh, you're going to be fine. And then, and he said, and for that tumor in your womb. And I said, no, it's in my breast. And he said, you have one there too.
Wow.
And I said to myself, okay, let me go back to the doctor, which I did. And there was one as big as a grapefruit.
Wow.
Oh, that was there. So, however, with the breast cancer, he just taught me
Right.
the hygienic way
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
to heal myself. And that's how we met.
I mean, man, bro, man, it's so interesting the stories that I got. Even with Dr. Sabi, how he dealt with Ma'a. She was suffering from paralysis and blindness, and he helped her. These stories, yo. I'm just honored that you're still here with us, Dr. Nalani, and you're still doing your work. And of course, I'm honored that Baba Phil is here, still doing his work all the time, man. And I know his sons, his daughters, his family. So, and I'm glad. And I also understand you come from a great legacy yourself, Dr. Nalani.
Oh, yes.
Yes, please.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Tell that.
Nat Turner.
Nat Turner. Oh, I got the books right here.
My grandmother's maiden name was Turner, and goes all the way back, actually.
Wow, wow, and that's a rich.
That
legacy.
is my great grandmother. Sorry, my great grandmother.
That's a rich legacy in the blood. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm just talking because I'm very. I know we come
Take
from
your
the
time.
Caribbean.
Everybody needs to get to know her like I do. You know.
Yes.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
So
y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
with such a great legacy in history, how do you hold on to something like that, and how do you give honor to Nat Turner? Do you ever go to his land, his graves, and send salutes?
I have not done that part yet.
Wow.
For me, giving honor is living the best life that I can do in his legacy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that takes a lot of focus and energy just to do that, just to be the best in everything that I do.
Yes, ma'am.
So that legacy continues.
That is true. That is true. Well, his legacy does continue. I don't think they did him that much of a service in the movie they had, but
oh, please.
I think it is what it is. But that's Hollywood. Hollyweird.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, because I know, Doc, you wanted to at least skim over what needs to be done as far as you said on Brother Richard's show, and then we get prepared for the healthy state of mind. We want to get people in for their children, their family, and all that, because they're scared out here in New York. We're scared. They're scared.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I was telling people that there are 3 layers to the situation. The first layer and the second layer we went through. Most of the layers I went through in the webinars that I did previous to this, the 2 years that succeeded this or preceded this, that led up to what we're going through right now, all the preparation and so forth. I asked everybody to be ready.
Right.
It's all happening now. And we're very happy to have this information in the can. And for those of you, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for your generosity. We love you. Thank you so much. We know that it's very difficult at this time, and what you all are giving, you're giving from your heart. And definitely, we will not disappoint. We've been searching all around for the right platform. We've been kicked off of 3 platforms that we thought would really be the ones to work. So now it's us working on our own platforms. We're thinking of either having the actual server built, or we have different we're exploring different venues that would actually accommodate us, so that we would be able to do the right thing by the people. And thank you. Just keep those small little gifts coming in. They are helping us to actually be able to hire the right people to do the right thing for us, so that we can do the right thing for you. I just wanted to let everyone know that April coming up is going to be a hell of a month. I didn't get a chance to get very deeply into it because we only had a couple of hours, and we didn't want to burden anyone with it, but we did want to tell everyone that April 19th and the 20th is going to be hellacious. First of all, April 19th is like the first of 13 days that the Illuminati actually deals with a satanic ritual.
Yep.
13 days that they deal with up to May 1st and May 2nd. And these are the days that they essentially, they're very much into Moloch and child sacrifice at this time by fire. So you might see either bombings, you might see fires break out in orphanages around the world, whatever it is, it's about child sacrifice at this particular time. And this is what supposedly Trump was actually working to get rid of. The other thing also is that during the time, this is one of the high times for sacrifice, children's sacrifice, other than the Saturnalia in December. That's another very high sacrifice time. As far as being mindful for children, be careful. Yeah. Watch out for your children between now or the 19th of the month and the 1st and 2nd of next month. Now, remember, on the 20th especially is Hitler's birthday.
Yep.
Okay, so be very mindful that that is a very high order day for them to do their sacrifice. Now, the other thing is that I've seen that Trump has activated about 1 million reservists. Everybody's telling me about that. We talked about that last year, that he was going to do that. Now, there are one of three things that may happen. He's doing it because he's trying to quell whatever riots would come when the arrests start of the members of the deep state. Number two, he's actually brought the people out. He's still out because there may be, we don't know, the UN, the troops of the UN has been used by the deep state to come into the United States of America as an invasion force, a quiet one. So he's activating that because he just sent some of his top generals 2,000 feet into a bunker over there in Colorado. So that's not, you know, either that's an exercise because we're talking about exercises, or we're getting ready for something to happen here on the continental United States. So everybody just stock up, lock and load if you got it, and just stay calm. Again, this too shall pass, but all of this has to do with the economic shift. And that economic shift is going to be a huge one. The only thing is, and my sources from overseas in Indonesia told me that the treasury that Trump actually supposedly incorporated the Federal Reserve into, that treasury belongs to to us, belongs to the Aboriginals. And he just took it from you because we never claimed it. The seat that we're supposed to occupy as the rulers of this North American continent has not been occupied. So these fools, these invaders are the ones that's taking over what it is that belongs to each and every one of us. So again, there's going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of things that we're going to have to iron out within ourselves first. You got to get to know that the Aboriginals are the true makers of the Constitution. We are the first 13 colonies. We are the first at everything. And these invaders essentially used to work for us. Now they don't. We work for them. So that being said, I just want to bring everybody up to speed. The coronavirus is, again, to me, a cover. And I believe that what we should be doing is just staying ital, as my brothers in the Jamaican community say. Think, especially ital, and which we're going to get into today a little later on, about getting concentrated nutrition into your body, which my beloved wife is going to start speaking to us right now. So with that, we ask that you pay attention, please. And listen, to those of you who are hating, I know you don't like me to be, period. And I've seen some of your narratives. They're funny. It's like I'm not supposed to answer them. They say things. They say, what are you doing answering me for calling you all these names? Well, listen, I don't like bullies. Never like bullies. Yes. And I will address you because you're calling me out. Right. And unless you can prove what you say, then it's nothing more than, you're spitting in the wind. And you know what happens when you try to spit in the headwind.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So essentially, what we're going to do right now is
Yes.
going to speak on some of the more powerful things you can be doing physically
Yes.
and nutritionally, and I will speak on the metapsychology of what it is that we should be doing at this time. So, Duncan?
Okay.
I'm here. All righty. I thought we were going to start with the metaphysical.
Okay. Is that what you want? I don't
It's
know.
okay. I will start with.
Are you all right? You good with that? I
Oh,
mean,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
all right.
good.
Let me just mention your book again. Remember, make sure you go to uksnow.org, and her book is called 7 Steps to Healing and Wellness Using Essential Oils with the Kabbalion as a Guide. Go get it right now by the one, the only Dr. Nalani Valentine.
It's Lulu. Oh, that's the other thing. Let's make sure.
Okay.
Do not purchase any of our books from Amazon.
Okay, great.
Please do not do that, because those people buy the book and then resell it.
Yes.
This book, yes, that book was going for $575, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Not what we charge for our book. Just go up to, or you can call us at 800-847-1291, and we will give you the exact URL.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Purchase it from Amazon. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Dr.
All
Nalani,
righty. So
my dear, please.
the last time we got together, we talked about 5 different core areas of health.
Mhm.
And when I'm here 20 years from now, I'll be in my 90s and I'll be talking about the 5 core areas. They haven't changed. They
Right.
never will change because that's what makes them the core. I'm going to start with the fact that we have choices. Everything we do is a choice. And sometimes we choose not to make a choice, and that's a choice. So we don't have to be afraid because we know that we can, with our thoughts, make a difference. And Dr. Valentine is going to really go into that, to the metaphysics of that. Everything is metaphysics.
Yes.
So we're starting with pregnancy. I figured, I know we've been getting lately quite a few calls from mothers and from dads whose wives are expecting, and everybody's concerned. And so let's start with that part. And this is also in my book,
Yes.
the fact that to have healthy babies, it's important to have healthy daddies first,
Yes.
because that's where it begins.
Mhm.
It's not just in the mother's womb.
Mhm.
It is in the body that is carried into the woman that carries the baby. So, dads, before you decide that you're going to be a dad, and hopefully it's a decision, we all get to make that decision, the decision not to, and that's good too.
Right.
It's up to you. But the point is that we want to make sure that everybody's going to be healthy.
Yes.
And you start with a healthy dad
Yes.
and a healthy mom. And then throughout the pregnancy, we're dealing with the health that comes from fire, air, water, and earth, which creates the nutrition that we eat. But it's not all about nutrition. So the first one of those 5 core areas that I talk about is your emotional state. And I think I mentioned this the last week. When you are in an emotional state, please don't eat when you're angry. You can eat when you're happy. But if you're sad, if you've been crying, compose yourself, move away, get into a space where you can be just with you and calm yourself, focus on your breath, and even focus on listening to your heartbeat. If you are still enough and you listen deeply enough, you will hear your own heartbeat. And that will calm you down and bring you the peace. And then you can go and eat. You may not even feel like eating after that. You may say, oh, I feel so good. I think I'll just go to bed. And that's okay too. So when you are in an emotional state, that is disconcerting, just remember to make a decision. Make a decision right in the moment, and you will change. That will change. But what do we do now nutritionally if the food is processed highly? It has no nutritional value. It doesn't have the live enzymes that nutrition really should give us, because everything that is human, everything that is alive, an animal, a plant, a tree, all loaded with enzymes. And that's what separates us from the rock, from the crystal, from the chair. So when you're eating, make sure that you're getting lots of enzymes. There's a book that I recommended last time, and I'll recommend it again. It actually was written by one of Dr. Valentine's early teachers, Umberto Antillo, The Power of Enzymes.
Power of enzymes.
The Power of Enzymes. If you are over 35 years old, it's really important for you to take enzymes as a supplement. And being that a lot of people are in lockdown, you can order it. I'm sure you can have it delivered because those things are considered essential, and you can have those enzymes delivered. What kinds of enzymes? The basic ones would be the protease, which you would just say digestive enzymes, and that's going to help you to digest your food. If you are not feeling well, the first thing you want to do is to stop eating. Okay? You want to drink lots of water. And let's say you're getting symptoms of the flu or of what everybody is so afraid of. The truth is that, and I'm sure many of you have heard, that this so-called virus does not like heat.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons you don't find it in Africa right now. All righty. So what you want to do is, and this is just one thing that you can use as your own remedy, get a lemon, lime, an orange, and slice them up, put them in, what are you doing? Okay, thank you. Okay. Came into my office. Put them in a pot of water and add some Tupelo honey or any dark honey and a thumb size of ginger. Cut up that ginger, put all of that in the pot, let it boil, and then let the vapors come up. Take a towel, put it in a bowl, take a towel, put it over your head, and slowly inhale what you just put in that pot. And that is going to open up the blood vessels. That's going to allow the essential oils that are in the peel, and even the vitamin C. You know that 80% of an orange's vitamin C is in the peel. And that's going to help. So just inhale that. Okay, so we started just with the fact that dad and mom really get to be their healthiest months before. And it's a good idea to go into a cleansing first before you decide to get pregnant. And then, or if you find out that you're pregnant and you didn't know before, it's never too late to start.
That's right.
So what you want to do is make sure you get lots of food that is live. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a raw foodist. You don't. Because some foods are best eaten cooked. For instance, your tomatoes, you get lycopene in your tomatoes, they're cooked. Even cabbage, when you have it raw, that is a type of, when you have it not raw, but like sauerkraut, which I absolutely love. You get your probiotics with that.
Right.
And so that's not really considered raw because it's partially digested.
Okay.
It's digested by all of the little microbes,
Mm-hmm.
and that creates the probiotic. However, when you are in this process of choosing the foods to eat, Just a simple thing. The closest it is to being in its natural state, the better it is for you, period. And that should help to make the decision, well, what should I eat? Well, how far is it from being in its natural state? If you take an apple and you cook it and make an apple pie, it's still good. However, some of those enzymes obviously are lost. So those are just, what I'm giving you is very general,
Right.
because I think it's something that everybody can hear. And then what I would like, if it's okay with King Simon, if you have questions,
Yes.
or if people have questions, have asked questions, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. The next thing, I had written down a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so we're talking about those 5 areas. Okay, so the parents now, mom is pregnant, and dad is going to make sure that mom emotionally is secure. A man, when they say the man wants to be sure that he protects, he provides and protects. Well, providing and protecting is not only as far as danger is concerned, the obvious outside physical danger. It is dad's job to protect mom emotionally. And that is the thing that I think we get to pay more attention to. When they are having conversations and things get a little bit heated, then they both get to remember that there is a little one in there who's listening. And not only is the baby listening, but the cells are listening. Your cells are listening. And that goes back to what we say when we talk to ourselves. So what we say to each other, what we say when we talk to ourselves. And they all come together in a complete package. So now we are thinking, all righty, we are on the path. We're making this baby. Baby is happy. The baby's listening to music in mommy's belly. Daddy's talking to mommy. Daddy's talking to the belly. And all kinds of wonderful things are happening. Those 5 things, your emotional, your hydration, your nutrition, your exercise, and how do you sleep? How much sleep are you getting? So let's talk just a bit about the water, your hydration. Everybody knows.
Dr. Nalani, pardon me 1 second. Somebody asked, is it okay to juice during that time?
Thank you for that question.
Yeah, now you're going.
Juicing is nice. Juicing is good. You get lots of nutrition. However, you get concentrated sugar. And we recommend blending over juicing. Because when you blend, you have the fiber, and the fiber slows down that glycemic index. It stops the sugar from going, because as soon as sugar hits your tongue, it can go right into the bloodstream. And it's concentrated, because you would never eat 7 carrots, but you can put 7 carrots in a glass and drink it. And now you're getting all that sugar, and you've left a lot of good nutrition in the fiber in the skin as well. Because the fiber is not just fiber. It is fiber, and there is a nutritional content to that fiber as well. So I recommend blending over juicing.
Okay. Well,
any other questions?
And then I'll ask the next question. Go into the water, which is
about. Oh, okay. So everybody knows that water is good for cleansing. We're going to cleanse the cells. However, water is also extremely important for brain function. Now, electricity is, water is a very good conductor of electricity. The same in the brain. And when you are thirsty, you are dehydrated. So, there's this book, Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. Drink your water before you're thirsty. Because when you're thirsty, you're past that stage where you should have had some water. In fact, I think I'm going to have some right now.
This is a good book right here. This is one of the good.
That's the book I was going to recommend. by Dr. Batmanda Khalij.
Yes, I see. I couldn't even pronounce that name. I would butcher it. So I'm glad you said it.
You're not sick, you're just thirsty.
You're not sick, you're just thirsty. Good book.
Excellent.
Yes.
And the point that he makes that there is so much happening that is dependent upon the water that we drink. So as I started to say before, the conduction of electricity in the brain is affected by how much water we have. And also those digestive enzymes that we spoke of when we were talking a little bit about nutrition, we touched on nutrition, and that was the next thing. However, the body has to make your hormones. The hormones, every single thing that we need to be alive comes with the water and is affected greatly by the water. And when I say every single thing, that goes for enzymes too. Enzymes are a catalyst to actually make something else happen, to create the hormones. And you need the water to create the hormones. So they all go synergistically together. How much water? Half of your weight in ounces, sometimes is recommended. And if you don't want to look at it that way, make sure that your urine is clear, almost clear. And when your urine is pretty clear, you know, okay, I'm drinking a lot of water. Will you have to go to the bathroom a lot? Yes, especially if you're not accustomed, because you see, there's a divine intelligence that likes to keep things the way they are. Right. And if you are accustomed to not drinking a lot of water, and you start drinking a lot of water, the body doesn't believe you yet. Brain, the subconscious doesn't believe you yet and say, okay, that's just now. But we're used to extracting water out of cells, out of some cells, to give to the organs that really need the water, that are tender, like your heart, your vital organs. And that's why sometimes your skin will be dry, because it'll pull from that organ to give to the inner organs. When you have enough hydration, then not only are the vital organs satisfied, but then it goes out to the outer parts of the body. You'll find that your hair is healthier, your nails are healthier. Those are the things that come later. The most important are the internal organs. Alrighty, so lots of water, and it's good to drink it when you first wake up, at room temperature or warm. And it's good to drink it before a meal, not necessarily immediately after a meal, because then that can interfere with your digestion. We touched on nutrition, and you know I'm going to talk about Juice Plus.
Of course.
Okay, about whole food nutrition.
Before you go there, let me ask another question.
Okay, we have a question on water.
Yes, no, this is how one person says about apple cider vinegar. Can organic apple cider vinegar play a role in our daily health cycle? That's one. And then the other one is, how would you care for the elders at this time?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that question.
Yes,
all righty. First of all, apple cider vinegar, as we know, it has lots of benefits. However, too much of anything is not good. So to stay balanced, it's okay to sprinkle a little apple cider vinegar. It's even okay if you're doing one of those cleanses, 7 days, where you have apple cider vinegar and honey and lemon, or not with lemon, sometimes with, but most of the time just the apple cider vinegar and the honey and the water, 7 days. But I wouldn't do that every single day of my life, no. Okay, because it's not balanced. Dr. Valentine has something.
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
First of all, apple cider vinegar is a ferment as well. The body turns materials that it wants to eject, it ferments it. So when you say something that is disagreeable with you, the reason why you have these serious feelings of aching, or you have what they call the reflexes, peptic reflexes and so forth. Whatever is toxic in the body tends to turn into a fermented material for it to get out, so that it can get out of the body quickly. So once you put a fermented material in there, you can marshal the body's defenses, and then that will give you a similarity of some form of strength at that time. Actually, what you're doing is you're forcing the body to act in a defensive measure. And that energy that it takes to act in the defensive measure is what you feel as strength. But it's not giving you anything, it's actually taking from what you already have as your reserve of vital force.
Okay. Another question. Thank you, Dr. Phil. And
we didn't respond to the elderly.
did you? Yeah. Do that. Yes, please. Yes. Respond to that.
Yes.
So that one more last question before we go.
Right. Well, the first thing you want to do is to comfort them and let them know that they really have nothing to fear if they're at home, and because that's the most important.
Right.
What comes from the mind first. Next thing is, and it you know what? It's no different. And that was a point that I intended to make. There's no difference between how you would handle a newborn baby and the way you would handle an elder. Make sure that they have plenty of rest. Make sure that they have plenty of water. Make sure that they are getting some exercise. That is extremely important for the elderly.
Okay.
Just think of it as lotion for the joints when they move. So if they are depending on the state that they're in, they can do gentle exercises. You can help them do chair exercises if they have difficulty walking. Just rolling the shoulders, or you moving their joints with them. It depends, like I said, on the state of the person. And the nutrition, it's extremely important for elders to have probiotics and enzymes, particularly the enzymes, because the body does not make the enzymes that it used to make. And remember, I said, if you're 35 or older, so imagine someone my age in their 70s, you are going to want to make sure that they have enzymes, okay, digestive enzymes.
And sunshine.
And sunshine. Because vitamin, and now what if the weather is inclement outside? If it's very cold, however, if there's sun coming in the window, then make them nice and warm in their body and let their face be in the sun at the window. But it's extremely important to have sun so that they can make their own vitamin D. It's a little bit controversial. Some doctors say vitamin D3 is good, and others say it doesn't do anything. However, those that take vitamin D3 in a liquid form, along with other ways of being healthy, they find that it does make a difference. So those are a few things that I would recommend for the elderly.
Someone asks, are there other enzymes that you would recommend in addition to digestive enzymes?
Yes, there are.
Good question.
Yes, there are. Thank you. I'm going to defer to, and the reason being is that the enzymes there are three kinds of enzymes, and there are exogenous enzymes which come outside of the body, and those that come from the body that you create yourself. And you cannot create more than you're supposed to create at a given time. Once you've passed a certain age, it just starts to decline. And that's why we recommend those. The other enzymes are that are recommended. Let's see if I could.
Those that are just tuning in, we have Dr. Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani Valentine on the line. Please share the video, like up the video. Remember, it builds the algorithms, and we want people to learn about this healthy state of mind in these days and times from both understandings, from the male and the female perspective. And I like the balance here. I like this balance. I love it. I'm loving it.
Okay, so there is one other enzyme that you can deal with that you don't even have to. I didn't want to take time looking up the other enzyme. There are three types, but what you can do naturally by yourself is choose foods that are raw. Because when you eat a lot of raw food, that is the other enzyme. So there are foods that the body creates, there are enzymes that the body creates, and then there are enzymes that you eat that help with the digestion so that you don't use up your digestive enzyme.
Okay. People loving your voice, Dr. Nalani. Not Nalani, you should be doing radio. They love your voice. One person said before we go in, and before I go, one person said, I drink green smoothies every day and get sunlight. Can you give me advice on how to get rid of headaches?
Okay.
That's
Now, headaches, that's a metaphysical thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, headaches is definitely a metaphysical thing, as well as, and everybody's different. So this is where when people come to us, we feel it's really unethical to give specific advice unless we know the background.
I was just going to say that, dear.
Yeah.
Very quickly, what it is, if you are having serious symptoms, we have preferred, and it is our policy at the Temple of the Healing Spirit to not give what we call fast food advice. We don't know what your living situation is. We don't know what your psycho-spiritual condition is, and to just give you something off the cuff would be unethical and something that we would not. It's not responsible.
Okay.
At all. And it's not that we try not to answer your question, but we know after doing this for nearly 50 years that we just don't do that. We have doctors who are calling us now for advice. When they try to tell their clients, why don't you try a natural thing? The clients say, wait a minute, I came here for drugs. For my drugs. So the people have to become more aware and educated as to what it is that a symptom really is. And the first thing that we tell people, which is why that first consultation is free. The first consultation is to allay fears. Because most people call with a form of slight to exaggerated desperation. Very calm in their voice. We're very well versed in how people are suppressing stress and anxiety regarding their condition. So the first thing we do is to allay fears, empower that person to know that the healing is done by them and we are just merely the facilitator. That's it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you heard them. Make sure you give them a call because they need to find out the inner workings of what's going on in your life at 1-800-847-1291. Set up a consultation. They said the consultation is free, family. So call them at the first consultation is 1-800-847-1291. Once again, 1-800-847-1291. Please leave a message. It's not a text message. Please leave a message. We are old but true school. We are the old school, but we are the true school. We need messages here. So
and clearly, say the number twice. Say the number twice or 3 times. Some people call me, some guys call me with a sexy tone like I'm their woman. Oh, my name is I'm saying I'm not going on a date with you. Speak up.
Hey, Dr. Valentine, I need to talk.
Yo, bro,
Hey, Frankie.
I want to hear that. The women do the same thing. They give me this sweet, dulcet tone. I'm trying to, and then I have to listen twice, and I'm sticking the thing in my ear to try to hear. My wife knows. She's hearing me. I've said, I can't understand what they're saying, boo.
Yeah, speak up, people. When you call them,
speak up. Also, say it twice.
And please speak slowly because sometimes you give your number 1-800-847-1291.
Yeah.
And hang up.
Yeah, and then hang up.
Also, someone asks, is it all right to drink only distilled water?
Yes, sometimes.
Not only. I wouldn't say only. No. Yeah. It's okay. It's good. Now, we know that distilled water is such because it doesn't have the minerals in it, because it has everything removed from it. Right. However, it can be reactive in the body, and if it's too much. So everything within balance. If you're going on a fast and you're breaking a fast, that's great if you're doing a healing process for a given period of time, or even if you do some days you drink distilled and some days you drink water that is.
That's very, very important to understand.
Yes.
Distilled water, your body distills the water you drink anyway.
Anyway. Yep.
Okay. So what you must do is purify your water more than anything else. Know that the sunshine and your breath is what makes the essential minerals that your body needs. Your body makes minerals from the breath, not from the water you drink or from food. That's secondary minerals. The original minerals are done with the breath. That's why when you get spanked on your backside, your body begins to magnetize to the earth. And the breath of life, along with what we call the solaric material in the atmosphere that you breathe in, it is then condensed in the bronchioles. The bronchioles then takes that air, which is conditioned with solaric energy, and then goes into the bronchioles, where it turns the water into wine. That's where you get that thing with Jesus Christ turning the water into wine. Bronchioles and the alveoli taking in the waters of life and changing it into your blood.
Now, somebody's asking, what do you think about water fasting, strict water fasting?
Yeah, if you're sick, you're good. If you're strong enough.
Now I have to tell you, there was a time I did that. I did a water fast for 3 days. Well, actually, not a water fast, a real fast. Fasting means to close the mouth. And that means no water, nothing but air. And I used to do that at least once a week. I would do for 1 day, nothing but for 24 hours, nothing but air. The next thing to fasting is water fasting. And that's an excellent thing to do. It is something that you would wean your way down to. You don't eat like some people do on certain holidays, gorge yourself and have a feast, and then the next day fast. That's misery. You're inviting misery. If you want to do a fast a proper way, or, well, not even just to call it proper, but a more sensible way, would be to ease off of food little by little.
Right.
You go from your regular meals, and one day you decide, I'm just going to have soups today, and you ease your way off, and then I'm going to have juices today, and then you go to juice for about 2 or 3 days, depending on the length of the time that you want to have this fast. And then you decide, all righty, from this time to that time tomorrow, or for 3 days, or for 5 days, depending on your own health condition and depending on whether or not you fasted before. If this is the first time, then I would do it for 1 day.
Okay.
Just for 1 day, just to see how it feels. You will find such clarity. You're going to get over that hump where you are just wanting something to eat. You will get over that hump. Before you know it, you're feeling euphoric. And when you get that a little bit like, oh, I'm feeling hungry, have a glass of water. Have 2 glasses of water. And it's a good time to meditate. It's not the time to go out and exercise in the sun. It's a good time to meditate, and what you're doing mentally is the same thing you're doing physically, and it works together. If you're accustomed to fasting, then you can go 3 days, then 7 days. And if you're going to do more, I would recommend you speak with a healthcare practitioner. Give us a call.
So someone asked if you do you have, let me give you 2 questions. Do you have a Spanish speaking representative? Of course, because somebody wants to act. And then somebody asks about turpentine. What do you feel about ingestible turpentine?
Yeah, you used to do that for worms back in the West Indies.
That's what we used to do. Exactly. That's why.
And I wouldn't recommend it to people from over here who is not accustomed to that.
Yes.
Because a lot of the foods have to prepare the body for that. In other words, a lot of people import exotic material healing methods from places where the environment supports that exotic form. and they think that they can take it and bring it into New York City, into the concrete, the same kind of response. It doesn't work like that. The environment is part of the healing process when you're dealing with things such as that. Now, of course, we are dealing with this particular condition that we're dealing with called the so-called coronavirus. So, my wife and I, we recommend the moringa. We recommend the materials such as the maca as well. But the number one thing that we recommend, and I know that my wife is going to go into, and that is the Juice Plus. I think that this is a good time, Nalani, for you to actually speak to them about that Juice Plus.
Okay. All righty. However, I want to answer the other part of that question. What was the other question?
About the Spanish speaking representative?
Yes. I do have someone who does interpreting for me. However, I also have, I've been studying my Spanish and I am working at becoming fluent again. There was a
Hey, she
time when I
speaks Japanese to me, so I mean,
There was a time, yes, I do speak Japanese. However, I'm going to be working on that too.
As long as you don't sound like Mayor Bloomberg. Because when he speaks Spanish, it's so funny.
Oh no.
No, he can't. What has he got? A Yiddish accent with his Spanish? Oh my God!
Leave the man alone.
I think it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
So should you want interpreting? Yes, give us a call.
Yes. Moving forward with the Juice Plus, please go into that explanation, please. I take Juice Plus personally. I've gotten from Dr. Phil Valentine. So I'm part of the Juice Plus
family. Yeah.
Yes.
All righty. Well, first I'll just tell you, when we first heard about Juice Plus, here we are, two naturopathic doctors. We're in a meeting, and this woman stands up and says, "Now I'm going to talk about fruits and vegetables in a capsule." And I must say, we looked at each other, and I'm thinking, "Oh, here we go again, another supplement." And my antennas went up, and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. Juice Plus is whole, raw, live food with the enzymes intact. And I call it superior nutrition because, and many of you have heard part of my story. Well, the other part of that story is that that's when I went back to school to become a naturopath, because I could not understand why I had that diagnosis when I knew I ate well. And don't let anybody tell you that your genetics determine where you are today, that you can't change what happens. You can have those genes switched off or on. They can be turned off or on, expressed or not expressed, with lifestyle. So that part of it is that when we have sprouts, for instance, sprouts are really good for us. We know 25% of the nutritional content is right there in the sprout. However, what many of us didn't know is that the plant is not receiving from the soil except to get larger after that sprouting. So when it is maybe 2 days before it's ready to fall off the vine, it is completely matured and ripens on the vine, that's when you have that chemical exchange. And that's when you get between 50 to 80% of the nutritional content. Well, wait a minute. When do we get our fruits and vegetables? When they're hard and green, so they can be transported without spoilage. And that is why people say buy local, get it from the farmer's market. And even then, even the organic ones have lost up to 80% of its nutritional content. And that is why I call Juice Plus superior nutrition, because they use old-fashioned farmers, family farms, not the big conglomerates, and we have control over how it's grown. There's no pesticides, herbicides, or anything like that. It is NSF certified, which is 2 steps above organic. And not only is it tested, so what is NSF? It's tested when they test the seed, They test the soil, they test the plant, and they test the finished product. And not only that, they go a step further and test in the human blood. So if you've got a couple of studies and you're a nutritional product, you're unusual, you're unique, because it's very difficult to get into a major medical journal. There are 40 studies on Juice Plus, one of them being the study on, one of them being, Dr. Valentine just distracted me, being one of them being on your DNA. And as a cancer survivor, that meant a lot to me. There was 66% less DNA strand damage to the group that had the Juice Plus as opposed to those that had a placebo. Now, let me answer that question about who pays for the studies, because people who don't really understand research will say, well, they paid for research. Of course they did. Who else is going to pay for it? What people don't understand is that we pay for the question. That's all. We pay for the question. In other words, does this whole food concentrate make a difference in the human body? And that's a study all by itself. That's bioavailability. And there are about 9 studies on bioavailability alone. And let me tell you that the prescription drugs that you have do not have this kind of research behind it. They may have one study. Some of them don't have any because they've taken a product from before and just changed a few elements and gave it another name, and they just put it out on the market without a study. So yes, I am very excited about being able to share this with our people because it makes a difference in the human body. So it's live, whole, raw food nutrition in a capsule. Why is it in a capsule? We want to keep the integrity of the enzymes. Remember, we talked about live enzymes? So when you have live food and you have it in a container and you're scooping, a lot of oxygen can get in there and other contaminants as well. And that can change the integrity of what you're having. So that's why, and the answer to the question, is it vegan? Yes. Even the capsules are vegan. So there's a fruit blend, vegetable blend, berry blend, and we have an omega blend. Another thing that makes it very unique is that it has a food label, a nutrition label. Even the government recognizes it is food and not a supplement. The only thing that is a supplement is the omega blend, because it's not a whole algae. And quite as it's kept, fish don't have omegas by themselves. They get their omegas from the algae. And so we skipped the middle fish and went straight to the plant. And that's where the omega, and it's a full spectrum, omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Did I cover everything? I didn't want to take too much time on the Juice Plus.
No, I think you did very well. And I think I'm hoping that people are taking notes.
That's what I told.
The Juice Plus is not just about, you having some vitamins that you take now and then. We recommend that you put it down as part of your food budget. Instead of you just saying, okay, I'm going to have my vitamin budget, my food budget. No, you should have it as part of your food budget, because that's exactly what it is. And the beauty of this thing, as far as Juice Plus is concerned, is that your body, the beauty about feeding the body is that the body must recognize and before it utilizes. The body does not utilize stimulants, does not utilize vitamins. What it does is it marshals up energy from your storehouse of vital force to get rid of the vitamins. So when you take the vitamins, you're actually putting the body on the defense. And so what it does is it marshals its own energy to get rid of something that it doesn't recognize. And so you feel that energy and say, ah, vitamins gave me this energy. No, it didn't. It was actually taking energy from you. And in that process, made you feel good for that time, but then it drained you. And now you have a whole other kind of hunger. Some people take vitamins and they don't even recognize that when they take the vitamins, they get hungry right afterwards. Why? Because the vitamin has sapped them of vital nutrition. In the case of Juice Plus, recognized and utilized as food. So therefore, it takes less vital force to digest and assimilate than you would have to sacrifice in the removal of a stimulant that comes in the form of what they call supplement. So what you want now is nutrition versus stimulation, because supplements stimulate, whereas Juice Plus gives you nutrition, which is different.
Thank you. And another reason too that it draws from the body is because it's seeking for all of those other nutrients. For instance, an apple has 10,000 nutrients. And so they've been isolated and named, and they're seeing even more. When you have a so-called complete vitamin that has maybe 30 or 40 minerals and vitamins, they don't have all the rest of that synergy of the little micronutrients that come in that 10,000. Tomato has 25,000 nutrients. So you take something man-made, you isolate it, fractionate it out of the whole, and then the body says, what do I do with it? It's searching for the rest of it because it doesn't work. You have divine intelligence. And on one given day, you may have a need, and I use that word need very sparingly. However, you need a certain nutrient today, perhaps yesterday, you were okay with. So when you eat whole foods and you have the full spectrum in your body, on that given day, you have that store. Well, if you're taking fractionated vitamins that's pulling away from the store, now you're suffering. Okay. And another answer to another question, parents, can a pregnant woman have Juice Plus? Can you give it to children?
Yes.
My youngest daughter, because back then we didn't know about Juice Plus, so our youngest daughter used it as her prenatal. And a lot of doctors now who are learning about it are recognizing and recommending it as the prenatal because it is a spectrum. Once again, the body recognizes it, and the baby grows up. The baby comes out with taste buds that have been developed for fruits and vegetables.
There it is.
And now when the mom is pregnant and she's eating lots of Juice Plus, and we recommend that a pregnant woman takes a double. We usually say the regular amount that people eat are 2 of each, and 2 fruits, 2 vegetables, 2 berries, 2 omegas. However, we recommend 4 for pregnancy, or if you have a condition that you're working on. I know we eat a lot of Juice Plus. We eat like 6 to 8 of each a day.
Yeah, we get ugly with it.
That's a blessing.
No comment.
Those that are just tuning in, we got like 263 people. I hope you have your notebook, pen, and pad, because when you have 2 extraordinary health practitioners like these 2 beautiful husband and wife team, it's a husband and wife team, and that's why I like to bring in the husband and wife team. Y'all know me already. I've done Dr. Africa and his wife. I've done Ashra Kwesi and his wife. I love those type of things. So this just gives me hope. to one day get married again. And keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? But those who have any questions, you're more than likely to put up more questions if you want. Was that it about Juice Plus? I know you also do the.
I'm sorry. I did want to finish what I was saying about babies, because I've had this question many times. All right, so if the mom is nursing, that's really good. That's going to give it to the baby. And because it's real, live, clean, whole food, you can open up when the baby gets about 6 or 7 months old. You can open up the capsule and sprinkle a few a few grains of the fruit, of the vegetable, and of the berry right on the baby's tongue and let them play with it. And that helps develop their taste buds as well for the future. After mom is nursing, I have done this for my great grands. We created a formula using one fruit, one veggie, one berry, and one omega, and using avocado and a sweet potato and a almond milk or soy milk or rice milk. That's another whole story. We can talk about soy. So we'll talk about that at another time. But yes, it is good for children. We have chewables for children, and we have a program where an adult sponsors the child by buying Juice Plus for himself or herself, and we sponsor the child to get Juice Plus for free.
Yeah, the child 4 years of age and older are eligible for the Juice Plus. Even children who are going into college, if they are registered in school or full time, it can be sponsored by a parent as well. So children going into, well, we're gonna call them children, young
Adults.
young adults going into school, college can also be eligible as well. Just want to make sure that the people understand that we're not trying to hawk anything, because you know me about me and products, brother, from the longest period of time. It took me a year of doing Juice Plus before I actually started recommending it.
Yep.
She knows it. You know, she was on it for a while. I did it for myself. It helped save my life. That's why I probably got so lazy. I didn't want to be bothered. It felt pretty good. But anyway, my main thing is that you make sure that you take your health seriously by understanding how health works. You know, because they're going to sell you all kinds of different gimmicks. The fundamental thing about naturopathic medicine, especially hygienic science, is that it is the simplest and most profound form of natural healing sciences out there, because we do not poison people back to life. We do not poison people back to health. There's no such thing here as the practice of poisonopathy. We call it the practice of poisonopathy, where doctors give you drugs that can kill you and expect you to get better. It doesn't work like that. So what we want to do is to help you understand that health is a science, but it's a very simple science. And health is the easiest thing to have. It's when you get sick that your things start getting difficult. So with that, we want to let you know that we're available. You have our telephone number. I always turn it over to Dr. Nalani, because her voice, dulcet tones, and everything, when she speaks to people, they immediately feel, loved and everything. Me, I'm gonna slap them. She's my complete opposite. One thing, she's never sworn. I've never heard her swear. Wow. She doesn't swear, she doesn't do it. She's just the complete opposite of me. I don't give a rat's. You know that. So anyway, you're looking at her. I say, when you want to deal with it, you can talk with us, but speak to my wife when it comes to and also speak to her if you are willing to do Juice Plus. I mean, Juice Plus as a business.
Yeah, please promote the business.
You want to do good for people.
Yes.
And you want to spread health.
Right.
Have a system and a company that is so involved in it. And like Nalani said, the person who put together the formula, remember John Harris, of course.
Of course. John
Harris and we studied with Humberto Santillo. Okay, that was one of the first people we studied herbs with.
Wow.
Great. And he's the one, and that's the reason why I even took a look at it. Because I said, when my wife said, "Oh, this is the guy," I said, Humberto Santillo. I said, where you get this? Who's this guy? What did you know about him? Well, he made the formula. I said, oh, okay, I got to look at it now. And the story about that is that his father had esophageal cancer. Couldn't eat. And they were sending him home to die. So he said, no, that's not going to happen. So what did he do? He put together the formula that you see right now. and began to feed him rectally.
Wow.
Father lived for 2 years after that because he understood that the nutrition and your bowels, that's everything. All your, especially when they start talking about vaccination damage, and when you start talking about the what is that with the brain, when vaccination damage,
Autism.
autism. The autism is actually in the bowels more than it is any place else. It's nurtured in the bowels, but it actually begins with an ischemic stroke when the blood vessels are shrunken. But anyway, that's a whole other story. The main thing is that the opportunity for you to be able to promote health, not sell a product,
Right.
promote health. That's how we approach it. And the one thing I loved, what my wife said to me one day, that they have this saying there: people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Yep.
I always that just struck me when my wife told me that was their hallmark. So if you are interested seriously in the business part of it, you couldn't get a better mentor and teacher, and one that is a nurturer than my wife, Dr. Nalani Valentine. And y'all better get on it, because you see what's happening with food out there today. The food that they're bringing in, it's not giving the nutrition. It's like snatching a baby out the womb at 4 months and then expected it to grow on the outside. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. So I would suggest that you talk to her about a business plan, because that's what it is. Get rich quick. You don't get rich quick on this.
Right.
The process.
But they do need it. And yeah, it's important, because a lot of people since they under quarantine and all that, you need to start this online business. This thing can help you. Believe this, family. I tell all those people out here, as a numerologist, number 4-year rules technology.
Come on.
Use the technology of this time, because 4 is also connected to the Aquarius energy, and we're in the age of it, right?
Come on.
Top of it. So y'all need to get on this technology and stop complaining that you don't have no work. I sent somebody to a place where they can read a book and get paid online.
Yeah.
Surveys and get paid online. You don't have no excuse to not make any finance for yourself and your family.
Come on. Come on now.
Well, this is the time of technology.
Yes.
This is it.
There's just one other thing that I didn't mention, and that's the Tower Garden. Oh my goodness.
That's what I was asking about, the Tower Garden.
The time is now for people to take control. And if I may share my screen just to show the flyer. I just have a flyer for that.
Please go ahead. Big up to Imani. She always bigs up this Tower Garden and bigs up you. Yes.
Okay.
There it is.
So this is my Tower Garden. Right now I have little babies because we ate all that up. But you can learn how to take control of your own life and of your own health in every way. And this is one way to do it. And so Friday on April 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and same day at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so that at 6 p.m. on the West Coast, people can tune in. You just go to zoom.us, click join a meeting, and take this number down, 551-253-838.
Leave that up there for a little while. Let them see that. That's the ID number you put in, and you will get a serious, education, not a deducation, but education. You will be livacated and definitely given information that they will not give you, even in some of your schools that you're going to. This is a learning experience. And you see those lettuce leaves?
Yes.
See if you can get some of them looking like that, except if you go to Whole Foods or anything like that. I'm talking about humongous leaves of lettuce. We used to plant our own foods, pumpkins. We used to get strawberries. We used to have all kinds. I mean, we had cucumbers the size of my arm, literally the size of my arm, this size right there. And
we can't see because the screen is up. Should I take the screen down now?
No, I'm good. We can see.
You can still see?
Yes, we can still.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 551-253-838. So I'm
Yeah.
going to take it down so that we
All
can, because
right.
I can't see you. I can only see the
Okay,
screen.
good enough.
You took
Just
over
want to
my
make sure
computer.
everybody
That's
could
good.
see. So yes, you can grow many things on there.
Yes.
And so that's what that's going to be about.
Wow. Wow.
Now, for those of you who are wondering, why is your cycle spiritual? I'm here to answer some metaphysical questions if you do have them.
Right. Right.
And this is usually a consultation, but I'm opening it up because my good brother, my beloved brother, King Simon, has provided this space,
Yes.
and he and I go back, way back
Yeah.
into time. And the boy still looks the same.
Stop
At
playing.
him. This brother has not changed. You talk about black don't crack. That boy he looks the same boyish guy that came walking up. Yo, I need a vaccination exemption. I said,
Yes.
which one of you are the kids? You know, that I couldn't tell you from your children.
So three of them at that time, and
Yeah.
they looking good. They doing their thing in Georgia right now. One lives in Texas, so that's a beautiful.
Beautiful. But we're all grandparents now.
Yeah, we all
And
grandparents. Yeah.
And
Well,
great grandparents.
and my great parents.
they do that
Yeah.
yet. They do that yet. No, they do that.
Yeah. So any questions, basically that they're going through,
Let
if
me
there are
ask
any,
you, Baba, should I have people call in or you want it written in? What you want? The question.
it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever's comfortable for them.
All right, so let me give the number. Let's hear some voices, and let's see if we can have some people call in. Because me reading all this, well, one person does ask, how do you help women with their menstrual cycle? Very important question.
Well, you have my book, The Wounded Womb.
Yes.
It goes deeply into the metaphysics of the menstrual cycle, and the less you do of it, the more healthy you are. Let's just put it that way. And again, each person has a different life experience. And even though they may suffer what seems to be the same symptom, the approach to that has to be psychospiritual first. Because remember, matter follows mind. Mind controls matter. So we must understand what's going on in the womb and what are the circumstances that are actually instigating it. And we go over that, and we talk to each individual as an individual, and our recommendations after the first consultation is based upon what it is we feel they can actually benefit from. And let it be known that we charge based on the length of time you choose to be with us. In other words, all of our consultations are cyber consultations. They're recorded and sent to you, and we give you all that you need to have within that tape to follow. Now, this is the thing. Just the way I hate to make the comparison, but we essentially charge based upon the length of time. Like you put a lawyer on a retainer, right? And you put us on retainer. The prices are based upon lengths of time: 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months with a 1 month follow up. And the higher up you go, there are more services involved. And so the one for 2 weeks is usually based upon acute symptoms, not chronic symptoms, but acute symptoms that can be taken care of very, very quickly. So if there are any questions that you may have.
One person asks, are panic attacks metaphysical?
But yeah, they're psychospiritual, they're psychological, and they invoke metaphysical forces. So when you're dealing with panic attacks, there are unresolved memories that never closed or were never given a resolve. So for instance, usually as a child, when you're a baby or in your child and there's something that frightens you, if no one is there to give you an idea or at least to solve the reason why you are afraid, or to give you the strength or empower you to know what you're being afraid of does not harm you, then trying to figure it out for yourself, you tend to suppress a lot. And when certain things trigger that same feeling when you that you had when you were a child, that same anxiety starts coming up where you don't know where to place your mind for a solution to the situation that you're facing. And sometimes we go to bed with it, and sometimes because we may not be able to pay the rent, or we don't have food, or we don't have a job, have something, our goals, and so relationships. All of these are certain triggers that bring back certain childhood memories that were not resolved at that time, but were subconsciously buried in order for you to be able to function, quote, normally during that time.
Now, might I also add that if one is experiencing anxiety attacks as a young child, it is very important to deal with it, and get that solved early, or as an adult, if you've never had them before and you start getting them, because it will cause the certain brain waves to continue in that manner.
Yeah.
So that when something triggers, whatever the trigger was originally, now that thing, whatever it is, will trigger that exact same response. And then it's a chain reaction. And those grooves that are in the brain get deepened. You know, if you think of snow on the ground and people who have walked on a path, and if you pour water, it's going to go straight down that path and it'll keep going. So it's important when one is dealing with anxiety and any mental condition, because after a certain period of time, it begins to take on a physicality. And then you can see lesions in the brain and so on.
Yeah, I recommend that if you want to study yourself during an anxiety attack, look at what preceded it, stop and examine what it is that led to that point. What were you doing 5 minutes before? What did someone say to you 5 minutes before? What were you looking at on TV before you went to bed? The things, remember, they're sending all kinds of things across the television and in your computer. So you may be hypersensitive to some engrams or some light encoded engrams in the strobe, because remember, television is not just a flat picture, it's a strobe. And those strobes can also create the anxiety.
Thank you for those answers, family. And of course, there's a question about natural delivery. Is a natural delivery suggested for a 39-year-old woman?
Mom?
Yes, whoever could answer that, beautiful.
Everything depends on the 39-year-old woman's condition.
Okay.
Everybody is an individual. My youngest had hers at 39, actually. She was very health conscious all the time, all during her pregnancy, and she had juice plus, and but she ate well, and she exercised, and she practiced yoga all the time. So everybody's different. And this 39-year-old woman may have a condition that's dangerous. So and it depends on where. Are you going to be in a hospital and have a natural birth? Or are you going to be at home and have a natural birth? Are you going to have a doula as well as a doctor? So those things go into play, but you would think in quote general, whatever that is, the natural way is the best way.
Well,
however, it depends.
Yeah, I would also recommend, and this may not be, this is something that's an indelicate subject, but depending on how many abortions that person may have had to that point, that plays a very important role also in weakening the inner lining of the womb. And that could cause great complications as well. Terminating pregnancies also causes a weakening of the infrastructure of the womb.
Now, someone asks, what are some ways to balance the utilization of masculine energy for young boys as a mother? Interesting.
And it's the difficult part. She can't. She can do her best, which is the problem. And I empathize with sisters who've been given that double duty, especially if the brother is not actually stepping to the plate to take that responsibility. But it takes two. And I would actually examine what it is that caused the schism to happen, and that the two should be speaking about the welfare of that young boy, because that young boy needs structure. All boys need structure. They need to have a mentor or someone that actually helps them to understand that surge of testosterone that is really taking over his life at this time.
Mhm.
He's very susceptible to influence, especially influence that shows him strength and power. There's but so much that a woman can do to actually help in that way. I would suggest that she would then look for masculine, positive masculine influences in the community, especially in the world of martial arts. Martial arts, a teacher who is not only benevolent, but strict and will kick his natural ass, so that he comes into line. Boys, yeah, I had asses kicked when you go into it, you have to go into it as a man. Young men are forged, and the way that they're forged is to be tested. The reason why the school system fails is because they do not test their boys. Boys need to be challenged. They don't challenge the boys, and they've taken away everything necessary to build his masculinity, his leadership, and his whole mentality to provide and protect. All that's gone. So you need to find those brothers, a benevolent brother in the military who's a shooter, and maybe teach him down to the range. Teach him responsibility in dealing with not only his martial arts, but what healing. The first thing that I learned was you got to learn to heal before you learn to break somebody's bone. So you teach him what it is to heal first, how to approach his friends, what to do and where to stop his activity. Show him that even if he's chasing danger, how to manage himself in dangerous situations. Again, a boy needs a challenge. He needs to feel at the end of the day that he's accomplished something. If he doesn't, he'll go out and do it to find out some way how to accomplish and to make that feeling in him of accomplishment. And that's why we have so many gangs today. Why do we have so many gangs? Because the society has taken away the young men's ability to build society, or to at least support the one that is in there as a leader. They don't build leaders anymore, they build followers, and boys are not followers. They don't like to follow. They'll follow an alpha male, but that's because they have not yet learned their own leadership skills. Easy to raise a male. They say, well, today is a young girl. No, it's a whole different animal. And a young man must be taught how to be a man. It takes so long to be a man. Why? Because a young man does not become a man until he's in his 20s. Trust that. I mean, he's got all the strength and the power and so forth. But they say, well, and this was a feminist, they used to say, well, you take all this length of time to good. We become mature at 16 and 17. Yeah, well, there's an old saying, quick to ripe, quick to rot.
Quick to ripe.
That's number one. Number two, they say that a more advanced entity takes longer to develop.
Wow.
So all of the feminist nonsense that they told us when they were telling us that boys die at birth more than girls, yeah, that's because the mothers weren't healthy. It takes a hell of a lot of power for a woman to make a boy child. Trust me. Because of what it is that she must now create as the fundamental baby, because of what we become, the muscle density, the size, and so forth that she is incubating. She must put the foundational material into that baby, and very few do, because if you notice, they're becoming underdeveloped. They're going through what I call a congenital disease or homosexuality, and they go through all of these conditions because we have been so deficient in feeding our sisters as well as the brothers today. They're very deficient in nutrition.
Right.
And this is the thing we have to do. We're not creating whole boys and whole girls.
Mm.
You see, so I would say you have a difficult job ahead of you, sister. I would suggest that you do your best at this time, because your situation with him, if it's a problem, it only grows when he grows.
Mm.
The
That's right.
older he gets, the more the problem grows. So what you want to do is put aside whatever it is you think you need to be and do as a woman, and you have to have your. No, if you got that boy with you now, you better put him into schools or in circumstances that are going to help regiment him. And I'm not talking about the military. That's the last thing you might want to do. I'm talking about there's brothers out there that are willing to work with that boy to turn him into a man. Find them. They're out there.
That's right.
One other thing I recommend is to always speak kindly and well about men in the family,
Wonderful.
about his father.
Yeah.
You know, my dad and mom separated when I was young, and she always said, "Your dad loves you very much," and that made a huge difference. Never say anything derogatory about his dad, and that goes for you guys as well. Never say anything derogatory about the mother, because that really makes a huge difference. It causes an imprint in their minds.
Indeed.
Let me shout out, of course, Urban X, my brother Black Dot, and Malcolm is in the building also watching us.
Oh, Black Dot.
Thank y'all for tuning in. And those that are, we got like 257 people. Like up the video. Remember, support, and show them love. Go to uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. Somebody asked about the homeschooling. Yes, they still have homeschooling programs for children on UKS. So if you don't want to return your children back to these schools and you want to go to their homeschooling, do it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Also, before I go there, Baba, let me just make sure I clarify and put everything in the description bar so they'll know. Like I have in the description bar right now, family, you can also give them a call at 1-800-847-1291. That's 1-800-847-1291. Their first consultation is free. The first consultation is free. You want to make sure you're clear, and I know it's specific to whatever they're dealing with. So the first consultation is free. And if you want to cash app them, let's deal with Sanu's cash app. That's $SUNNU7. That's $SUNNU7. That's Sanu. So make sure you support, and thank you all the time. Go ahead, brother.
Well, thank you very much for that. Please. You might, when you put the Sanu 7 into the search bar, another Sanu 777 might come up.
Okay.
Ignore that. Just Sanu 7, please.
Okay. Somebody asked a question about, I guess it's directed to you, Baba. What can we do to repel the effects of 5G?
We were just speaking about that. We have to get certain types of instruments. You can call me later on down the line at the 1-800 number. You can, I've got my shungite. I've got tons of these around my computer. The shungite is a coal black absorber. It changes frequencies. It's been tested. You can get this diode at the email that I'm going
to put it on there now. I'll put it right on there on the live stream right now.
Right.
Safe
space protection.
I got it. I put it
on. .com.
I got it. .com.
And of course, in helping with Dr. Blair as well.
Yes, I got the MetaCenter2.com. I got that. It's all on the chat here. I put it up there. So please support Dr. Blair's website is still up and supporting.
This is full of shungite.
Yes.
The whole thing. I wear this around my neck around the house, and it gets into your aura. You don't see it, but the 5G is going to penetrate the aura, and it's been responsible for what looks like. If those of you have seen my previous thing with brother.
Rich.
It looks exactly like radiation damage in the lungs. So you may want to make sure that that you're protected. Not only that, especially when you're pregnant. By the way, ladies, if you are pregnant, I would suggest you go out and get a lead. It's covered over. It has a cover that you can cover yourself. It's an apron that you can cover yourself when you're in front of your computer. And especially put it right over where the baby is.
Yes, they have those specifically. You can just search for protective, those protective blankets.
Yeah, protective blankets online. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Just putting things up. Now, people, if you want to call in, I'm going to make the voice. I want to hear some people's voices. You can call in right now at 347-365-4861. That's 347-365-4861. When you call in, please turn down your speaker. We don't want to hear a feedback. Please turn down your speaker. So if you want to talk to Baba Phil Valentine and Dr. Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani Valentine, please call in. If you have any questions right now, I'm opening the phone lines for the first time in a while, and that's 347-365-4861. We're taking calls one at a time, please. One at a time, please. Do not just bombard the phone. We don't know. All right. We're going to stay focused. No. I said, where do you get the pyramids from? They said, where do you get the pyramids from? Some of those questions.
Call us in. Call us in.
Uh-oh.
And we'll talk about that.
Phone is ringing. Let's find out who's who. Yes, greetings. Welcome to King Simon Presents. Please turn down your speaker. You're on with Dr. Phil Valentine, King Simon, and Dr. Nalani. What's up?
Simon, how's it going? Baba and Mother, how y'all doing?
Good.
Doing really well.
All right, excellent. Enjoying this broadcast. I had a question about in the home. I've heard different things about incandescent lighting, UVBs, and full spectrum.
Full
And I
spectrum.
just wanted to see what y'all's take was. What's the best type of lighting to have in the home, or like the differences between those types of lighting and the best things to have in the home in general?
Yeah. If you have fluorescent lights in your home, that too can affect your mood because it's a completely blue light and it gives off a blue spectrum and it doesn't give you the full spectrum you need in order for your body to be able to convert light into biological energy. So it's best to get, if you can, make sure you're not getting those bulbs that have the mercury in it, the ones that last for 50,000 hours and they look like little circles. You can go up and get those bulbs, those full spectrum bulbs. You might want to go to Mercola, MERCOLA.com. And I believe that he sells those full spectrum bulbs, because that's all we have around us is full spectrum bulbs. Can't hear you, brother.
Ready for another question?
Okay, yes.
All right. Yes, greetings. Welcome to King Simon Presents. We got Dr. Nalani and Dr. Phil Valentine in the building. Who am I speaking to and what's up? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. My name is Nakia. I'm calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Grand rising to the kings and queens.
Yes, sir.
I would like to know about if you live in a positive life, what is the main way? Should we try to bring back rite of passage for everybody to go through so they can be enlightened and know what to do as far as men and women leading from boy and girlhood into adulthood?
Yeah, the rites of passage have been taken from us.
Very much.
Yeah, the rites of passage have been taken from our boys.
However,
Yeah.
one of the things that you can do is you can get a group of concerned men and women and have the women deal with the girls and the men deal with the boys. It's a program, and it doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be, hey, look, we're going to meet once a week. We're going to sit down with the guys, or we're going to play basketball with the guys, or whatever it is that you can mentor them because they could see from your activity and from the conversations that you have with each other. And it doesn't have to be in a way that they have to sit down and be lectured to. No, it's something that you bring them on as a friend and as a young mentee, just to see how camaraderie among men can be and how lessons can be learned in the process. Perhaps you're just shooting some hoops once a week together. And those kinds of things can start a bonding. And then with that bonding, you'll be able to have better conversations. And then you'll find that when things get rough in school, they'll come to you and ask you questions. Well, what do you think about this?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that boys will need a little bit more agitation than that. They need fear. They need the fear of God put into them. What you sounded more like is more for what women would probably do. In rites of passage for men, you got, for instance, what if you will go out to the Aboriginal brothers in Australia, the men mentor the boys from the time they're 7. They're taken away from the mother, and they stay with the men as much as possible so that they can learn the rule. And then after they've reached a certain age, like 15 or 16, after they've learned everything they could from the elders, they have to take a trip out by themselves into the wilderness and survive. If they don't come back, they're not really recognized as men. Need a lot more challenge of what it is it takes to be a man if he is going to be a provider and a protector. Just talking to him is not going to do it. Boy needs physical interaction with it. He needs to either get his ass kicked. He needs to get. That's why the hazing and so forth. It's not as stupid as it is sometimes in the colleges. But our African ancestors and our Native ancestors here and our Aboriginal ancestors, he had rites of passage for those boys, and that would also do with the hunt. For example, Maasai, you got to go out there and beat up a lion. You don't get the girls to go out and beat up lions. The Maasai you got to go out there and prove that you can protect. So you got to go back there and bring back a lion skin. So yes, boys are a little bit more, we need a little bit more agitation than the girls.
Oh, for sure, I want to be clear, not for a rite of passage.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking in the mentoring stage,
yeah.
not as a rite of passage for sure. Because
okay, good.
No problem. Thank you. Hold on one second. Let me go to the phone lines. Yes, greetings, my brother. You're here with Dr. Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani. What's up, brother? Talk to him.
Hey, I want to ask a question. How do you this force field energy within yourself?
How do you say that again? How do you what?
Activate this force field energy within yourself to protect yourself from all these gamma ray effects, so to speak.
Okay.
Health.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, the first thing that happens is health. Health is the first protector. Now, you'll notice that people who are healthy are sometimes the first one to show condition. Why is that? It's because their defensive mechanism is so sharply attuned that if anything comes into the body that does not belong there, boom, the body protects itself by giving you a symptom. The symptom is the body's defensive mechanism. If you've been vaccinated a number of times, that response mechanism has been dulled. The vaccinations kill your body's first response system. In other words, the reason why you can tolerate a specific disease that doesn't show up on the skin or in fever and so forth is because your body's defensive mechanism has been knocked out. It's been knocked cold. Does that help you? No, it doesn't, because whatever it is that gets in there, the reason why your body no longer responds is the reason why you get diseases later on, because the response mechanism that would have addressed the first attack, that body now has become susceptible and responsive to and receptive of the disease rather than protective from the disease. So later on, you get different types of symptoms. If you grow older and you have certain habits, these diseases that were seeded because you're vaccinated or because you do not have the proper health to resist the cleansing process or the materials that goes in that creates the cleansing process. What you want to do is to be at the optimum health, so that when you do sneeze, or when your nose runs, or when you get a cough, or when you get a fever, that is the body's reaction. That's the true defense that the body is putting up. So as far as whatever it is, as far as the energies are concerned, you have the things that are, since it's actually technological, you want to start with some form of technological means for you to help yourself with the shungite and with different types of things that you could wear on your body to offset that energy. But then health is the #1 protector. I'm not saying go right up to a nuclear power plant because you eat Juice Plus and hug the nuclear power plant. I'm saying, think and use your brains on how to use that properly. How to defend yourself by becoming stronger within yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you want to say anything, Dr. Nalani, or are you good?
You saw me thinking, did you?
Yes, I see you thinking. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to make it very clear that as we mentioned, the whole food nutrition, it is not a cure for anything.
Okay.
It's itself. There's no such thing as a cure. There is such a thing as healing. And the body heals itself when you do two things. You give it what it needs,
right,
and you remove obstacles to healing. And sometimes those obstacles are metaphysical. They're always metaphysical because everything is metaphysical. So you deal with the spirit, with the emotions first, and then you deal with all of those other 5 core areas. And so sometimes it seems like one might be looking for an answer that's more complicated. However, it's really not complicated. So it's simple. What is simple is the truth, and the truth is simple. And so you start with health, and then you start with the protection of things that my husband mentioned.
We're going to go to this next question. Yes, good day. You're at King Simon Presents. You're on with Dr. Phil and Dr. Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani. I don't like to say Dr. Phil. Go ahead. Say something. Go ahead. Hello?
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, peace and blessings, everybody, and thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For a minute. Ever since I was about 25 years old, I always felt like relationships was just not for me in this lifetime. Have you ever heard of something like this? And are people put on this earth solely for, let's say, like, just to be alone and fulfill whatever purpose that they're here for? Like, am I supposed to not be in a relationship?
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends whether that's by choice or you being forced to do that. I mean, nowadays, relationships are tenuous. There's more divorces than there are marriages today, and that's the horrible thing about it. Is it by choice? I ask that because whether or not is there a resignation in your feeling to find a mate and be with a mate because you no longer want that responsibility? Or is it because the mates that you've been with has been such a traumatic experience that you said, what the heck, I'm gonna throw my hands in the air and that's it. So some people are born to be monks. You have people that go into Tibet, they leave the West and they go to the East and they just chill and they go into this Om state and they just say, my physical body is not real. I recognize that. And sometimes because you have incarnated so many times that you don't really feel the magnetic attraction to the physical plane anymore. And that's a whole other metaphysical reality that you might be going through and you have not yet touched upon. And this is why our school exists. You have not yet been able to touch upon that part of yourself that is comfortable with that decision, which is why you're still wondering whether or not this is for you. if it was for you and you knew it, you will already be comfortable with it. Something that you have to come to the realization of.
Okay, let me got another question here. Did you want to say anything, Dr. Nalani? I want to make sure you're all right. I want
I'm good. I'm
All right.
good. It's all about what you decide, what you choose, and what your inner being is saying to you,
Yes, ma'am.
and not from what society says or what anybody else says.
Right, right. Now, I'm going to let the audience know we're not going to keep them over time. We're going to go to 11 o'clock. We out. Got like five more minutes to go. So this other question here from the phone. That's the last time I'm taking any questions from the phone. That's the last question. Yes, good day. Welcome to King Simon Presents. Please ask your question.
Yes, hi. I am dealing, as far as I can tell, with mercury poisoning. And before I'm even able to remove whatever mercury is left in my mouth, I'd like to know how I can start combating.
Okay, that's a very good question.
Okay, well, thank you very much, sister. Listen and turn up your speaker and listen to the answer.
It's sometimes even more dangerous to try to move those amalgams. Careful about trying to pluck them out of your mouth. That's a very delicate surgery, because once you do that, you could get a concentrated amount of that amalgam into your bloodstream if you don't have the right person. They do have experts who remove amalgam. So I would suggest that you do that. But to get it out of your system, I suggest very highly that you get something called cell-desiccated chlorella. Cell-desiccated chlorella, organic chlorella, CHLORELLA, and you can go up to some place called nuts.com. Nuts.com. They should put it in and put it into the search engine.
Okay.
But the cell-desiccated takes heavy metals out of the system. You can also try thuja. Thuja is it's a homeopathic for what do you call it, bunions, but it also helps to take out heavy metals. Also, concentrated cilantro oil, or just eating salads full of cilantro, they help to the molecules and the molecular structure of cilantro and the ingredients in cilantro have a magnetic effect in heavy metals in the system.
And stay on a really strict diet, making sure that your food is not, that the foods that you eat are organic. The food is organic. That helps as well, because you really want to, right, that's going to help.
Juice Plus, I would suggest very highly.
Right.
Especially the omega as well, because the omega is that fish, is that what they were giving you in the form of fish oil, but instead it goes right to the algae and they're taking it directly. You need that 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 of the omegas. You
3,
need
5, 6, 7, and 9.
7, and 9. All of the omegas.
Man, well, I want to thank both of you. I'm not gonna. It's 3 minutes before the top of the hour. We did a fantastic job. I want to shout out all. Of course, remember, please get in contact with Dr. Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalani Valentine for their services and their products on www.uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. And you could also call them. They have one first free consultation for whatever particular service they're offering. Remember, it's 1-800-847-1291. That's 1-800-847-1291. What you gonna say, Baba? Go ahead.
If they are dealing with vaccination exemption as well, they want to do that. And we do metaphysical consultations as well.
And relationship too. You do handle relationships and all that.
Relationship consultation.
Please do that, because a lot of us are going through it. And don't forget the Cash App, please. Cash App is $Sunu, SUNNU7, not 777, SUNNU, the number 7 only. Again, go to their website. And if you want to find out about those ELF protection diodes, please go to www.safespaceprotection.com. That's www.safespaceprotection.com. protection.com, and support Dr. Blair's website is still going. Tony is still running it. We still have his books. I even have 2 of his books on sale. I have left over, Man, Woman, and Child. If you want to get that from me, I do have those, but you can go to his website at www.themetacenter, and all of Dr. Blair's books are on his website. He has 4 books on his website that they actually transcribed from his old speeches to the actual book. So please support Dr. Blair and continue to support Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Nalani. It's like, Dr. Phil, it's like you're almost the last of the Mohicans, brother. What's happening here?
I don't know. I'm gonna hold it down as long as I can, and I'm just happy that I have the wife that I do right now, because she's got a foot sideways up my behind. She's just making sure. Yeah, I can't get no peace with her. She's like that coach.
Turner, brother. She related to Nat Turner. Come on, how you going?
Yeah, I know, and I get it. But you know what? She's right, because I've gotten. You know what happens is when you know you can reverse. Anytime you get lazy.
Yes.
This woman is up 5 in the morning doing her yoga and stuff, and it's like I'm watching this buzz. I'm saying, you know what? I'm gonna get inspired somewhere down the line just looking at her. I'm losing weight just looking at her, you know. But no, I am going to definitely, do what I have to do. But you know what? I feel no symptoms. That's the problem. When you don't feel any symptoms and you know how to get rid of your symptoms naturally, you tend to get lazy. And I really don't care about anybody judging me or whatever it is. I've never really shirked from anybody giving me any kind of criticism. And, I really take it with a grain of salt, a pound of salt. But I'm always up to saying if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, most of the people don't want to hear it. But if I'm right, I stick by it. I'm right. But listen, I'm human, and each one of us has our own foibles. And the beauty of it is that if I don't get any challenges, I end up challenging myself. And then I need a coach. And, this woman came into my life, and she blows that whistle. Get up.
Before we leave here, because I also know that you, Dr. Africa, and Dr. Sabi were into music.
Oh, yeah.
Life. Now, how important was music to help calm you down, or is now to calm you down? Because I know when I was at Dr. Africa's house, he would go and play his piano, and he'll just riff through the piano every time he's relaxing. He's just prolific, and he taught himself how to read music. He taught himself how to play various instruments, and he was a backing band part of Richard Pryor, Dizzy, all that. So why was music so important to you?
It was always important to me, brother, because of the fact that I was out there and I did have a career that was getting ready to be there. But I was into classical music, more involved in classical music when Dr. Nalani, who is an aficionado, she knows classical music, yin yang, up and down. So when I really wanted to really relax, turn on Ravel, I turn on Debussy, I turn on Beethoven, and I deal with what do you call the Baroque music, and of course my Earth, Wind, and Fire. I got to have my EWF.
Dr. Nalani, you're gonna like this one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's
collection of
whoa.
Got the collection.
Oh, wow.
That's
nice
beautiful,
collection.
man. Wow.
The old box.
Wow. I
That
bet you
is-
Air on a G-string, right?
Yes.
Air on a G-string
Yes.
is his favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, the Air on the G-string. And like, I got the Pandora, so that when I want to start completely zoning out, I go into my, hit up the Pandora and go into my Baroque. And I love, some of the what was Handel, Beethoven's teacher.
Yes.
And I like listening to those music because there were countermeasures and these different flavors and layers. Today's music today, I mean, not back in the 70s and 60s when we dressed funny. Our music was the bomb.
Yes.
We dressed like, you know, real, I don't know, I think we were in the circus and clown, but we looked cool back then. But today, you know, there's no real music that gets to your soul. Some of it does, but it's just talking at you. It don't go into your soul and make you feel it. Very few artists can actually do that, and I've really tuned off of music. That's why I go back to the 70s, Shy Lights, Delphonics,
Yes, yes.
Miracles, you know, going back to when music had layers and meaning.
Yes.
We weren't talking about grabbing their crotch or bitch this and all of that type of stuff.
I have the collection. I have my collection.
Yeah.
But remember, I used to be on WWRL. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He used to open up. Yeah, he used to open up for all of the reggae shows. He used to be
Bob Law was my boss.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boss, man. I seen him the other day, matter of fact. He asked about you. He said, "Hail up, Phil Valentine."
Oh man, what's he doing, man? I haven't heard of him in a long time.
But remember, I took you into the store when his wife was there.
Right, I remember. Yes.
Mine too. Yes, I say they still there. They got their store on Atlantic Avenue, still right.
Yeah, well, give him my hail up.
I will definitely give it. But once again, I want to thank both of you, of course. Thank all, everybody that came on. 230 is going down now. But again, please support their website. I'm gonna put it up there. Put all the information up there again, family, so y'all will know. And yes, please go get your first free consultation. Of course, vaccine exempts in certain states. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Right? And you can contact them for services on health, the homeschooling, all. Go to their website, uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. And their 1-800 is 847. That's 1-800-847-1291. 1-800-847-1291. And once again, the Cash App is family app. So you got to go to their Cash App, $Sunnu, SUNNU7. That's Sunnu, Sunnu, SUNNU7. Not 777, only 17, please. Show respect. All right. And I want to thank Dr. Nalani, first time being here.
Thank you so much.
Love and honor. And of course, man. Thank you very much. And Brother Phil, you know how we go. We talk on a regular.
Oh yeah, definitely. Call me anytime, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all have a great night. Sleep well and rest well. Okay, family.
Same to you. Be
right.
well.
Peace, everyone. Peace.
Love everyone.
Peace. All right. I'm gonna get rid of them, family. We're gonna do what we got to do and keep it moving. We got our fam. Thank y'all very much again. Yes. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. We had a great time. Had a wonderful time. Make sure you share this. You know, I'm going to end with my favorite song, my song that I'm turning into a book form, and it's called One Life to Live. If you want to cash at me, if you thought that anything was valuable on this show, please cash at me and send me some love if you can. It's up to you. Or if you want to do a numerovation session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. It's right there at the bottom after Dr. Valentine stuff and information. My Cash App is King Simon 3158. That's Cash App, King Simon, $King Simon 3158. And my number, if you want to text me for a numerovation. Remember, I do not do readings. I do consultations, and I help to advise you to activate your number so you can live to your highest and wisest. It's up to you if you do it. I tell people all the time, numbers are here to guide. We're not here, no psychic reading here. I'm here to guide you and show you how your numbers work for you and why you was born with the number and the name that you're connected to. And that's how it works. Boom, bap, boom, bap. That's how we finish and keep it moving. So if you take the activation, it's beautiful. If you don't, it's up to you. Numbers come with cycles. So it'll come back at you some 10 years from now, 5 years from now, it's going to hit you because I follow patterns and cycles and things that are repeatable, measurable, and observable with the numbers. That's how I deal with the numerology, because I do numerovation, because I motivate you with your numbers to see how it can help work. I don't care what number you're born under, what sign you're born under, what name you're born under, what new name you chose. I got you if you do a numerovation session with me. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And I'm out of here with my song, One Life to Live, because that's what we got, a one life to live, and we better live it positively. Peace, love, and I'll see y'all soon. Have a great evening wherever you may be. Peace. Take care. We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it. No matter what they say, you should always try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it. No matter what they say, we should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know time is running out every day. The people they know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this dance, I want the whole world to confess that we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it. No matter what they say, you should always try to live a positive life anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't